It's a delight to be here with another old friend. John Culvahouse and we go back a long way. In fact, John Culvahouse's first job was in Cookeville, Tennessee, my hometown. And he graduated from Brand X University up the road. Okay. He went to the University of Tennessee, and many of you realize that I retired recently from Tennessee Tech University. But John started teaching in Cookeville, Tennessee, and then moved over into the Knox County schools, then became an associate director of bands at the University of Georgia and was involved with the music ed program at Kennesaw State University. He's now retired. It feels good. It's something that is really kind of underrated, and but John,
highly recommended.
John is now living in Knoxville again. He's got a beautiful stone home that he's thoroughly enjoying. I know. John, welcome.
Thank you very much, Joe. I very much enjoy retirement, but I enjoyed 40 years of teaching immensely.
Absolutely. So what caption are you doing today?
And it's an overall and music.
Okay. And so what kind of things are you listening for?
I'm listening for good tone, good intonation, and good precision, good rhythmic interpretation, and production. In other words, that's pretty much the score sheet.
Yeah.
Coming from the number one product, tone, which should be good, followed by the byproduct, intonation.
Sure.
And in order to get that, you've got to get things lined up.
You bet, you bet. And the expertise, you can imagine with the experiences that Dr. Culvahouse has had during his career as a teacher in the middle school and high school levels, and then university levels, and doing things with music ed programs where he was sharing all of that expertise with those who were interested in becoming band directors. That's a wonderful thing. We're delighted that you're here today.
Thank you. I enjoyed every bit of it. People ask, what did you like the best? And I said, I maybe liked teaching fifth grade beginners the best.
Did you?
This is how you hold that thing.
Uh-huh.
And an initial production of tone, and this is how you sit to play that thing. This is how you hit that thing.
Right.
And that was a great deal of fun. Also, PhD and DMA students in fine university wind ensemble, as good as any in the country. That was fun too.
Sure. You know, and I had similar experiences myself, and I recall that there were several times where I was always pleased with the kind of rewards that were involved with the job. You don't have to be a professional conductor to enjoy professional quality music and feedback. That the extraordinary things that we had with our fifth graders in Forest City, Iowa, to the Central Building, seventh and eighth graders that were building skills, and the high school bands and the college bands. I mean, there's such an amazing reward.
Amazing is the word.
Yeah.
And after a fifth grade first PTA concert with fifth grade beginning band, and you play lines out of first division band method and
Sure.
some other contrived lines run off on a ditto master, and you play those for the parents and the teachers, and they say, wow, you've only been teaching them since September 1. How do you get them to sound like that?
Right.
This is amazing. And that was very rewarding.
That's great. And you know, here we are today, that on these early 20s in September, that these marching bands at the high schools here in Fulton County are going to be performing this evening at a time where their shows are still developing. I think it's really courageous for all of these band directors to do a nationwide broadcast such as this.
Yes.
But how important it is, from my perspective, to see how that music education has to demonstrate how well it works. And this is a perfect example of that. We're going to find that Fulton County has schools from all kinds of backgrounds. and
Right.
that we're going to see this on the field today, and it's going to be terrific. It's also a wonderful thing when you have adjudicators that are here that are looking for various things, and I'll promise you that these adjudicators have been selected by Dr. David Vanderwalker, who is the supervisor, the coordinator of the fine arts programs here at Fulton County. But he's looking for people who are experts, who can give great advice, give great comments, also to discover those things that here's what you can do to make this better, and that they're going to be very positive. There's not going to be any negatives that are involved with this, because we still have weeks to go before we get to the end of this season. And so there's a lot to be learned from this.
Correct. We try to help out by giving comments about this is what I hear now, and this is what I think you should do in the coming rehearsals and in the coming weeks before you take this to competition.
Right.
And even if not competition, to bring this show to fruition.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that with this exhibition, I like the idea that it's called the exhibition.
Correct.
Because it's not a competition. It's not a contest where
No.
we're going to try to find out who's number 1 and who's number 2 and who's number 8.
That's subjective.
Yeah, but this is a situation where these students have the opportunity to really demonstrate what they can do, show their wares, okay, and to make this, and they're looking for a means of becoming better too.
That's very important, and the process to improve a musical product, and in this case, musical and visual product, the process is ever changing, and it's also very time consuming.
Yes, it is.
But one thing is, think about that adjudication sheet to use teaching to the test. Whether you go to a test, a contest or not, number one is tone. Get a good sound on those instruments. That's number one.
Right. Yeah, and that is something that I recall. You remember from your old days, a gentleman by the name of Dan Hearn.
Oh yes,
Okay.
he just passed recently.
He did, and a colleague of mine at Tennessee Tech taught clarinet. Was one of the best clarinet teachers I think I've ever met in my life.
One of the best clarinet teachers, one of the finest conductors of a band, and one of the finest people I have ever known.
Well, and you know, he really was one of those, and he'll be missed greatly.
Yes.
What I remember Dan talking about, just what you said, that you have to have a great sound.
Yes.
And number 2, but equal to number 1, you have to know when to use it.
Correct. And in what amounts.
Yeah, right.
And for the contrast of the sounds.
Absolutely.
And something that prevents some people from getting played well sometimes is too much demand visually.
Uh-huh.
Be careful. Music usually has more points.
Yeah,
Get the music right.
that's right. Absolutely. John, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. Okay, for me, you know, we get a chance to go and socialize at,
Yes, we
at
do.
various events. This year, we get to go to Colorado with ABA.
I'm there.
And, yeah, we'll have a good time there with the Tennessee dinner as well.
It'll be fun.
Okay, it will. Okay, thanks, John.